Alright guys, in this video I'm just gonna tell you how we can make a to-do app with using React.js, and I'm just gonna make a backend on Firebase. So it's gonna be interesting video. You should have watched. And let me tell you that I have already made the to-do app, and let me show you how it works. So whatever I will type over here, let me remove this console because I have written some console into the code, so that's why it's gonna. Okay, so let me type something. This is my to do app. And when I click on submit, you can see this to do app has been rendered over here, whatever I will type over here, because this is coming from backend what I have made on Firebase. So I'm just going to start my new repo into my new repo, and I'm just going to make this to do app again. So let me show you, and I'm gonna make this UI better with using semantic UI React. So I will tell you a little bit about that, how we can use semantic UI React. So I've already opened my code base. So this is the code base. So we're gonna work into the other boilerplate. So thus, if you haven't watched my video, previous videos, that how we create a React boilerplate, so you can just type this command and px create React app. Let me show you into the console. Okay, so you can see into the terminal, you can just type npx create React app, just like this, and after that you can type your app name. If you hit enter, it wanna make create a new app into your folder, whatever your folder is. So my folder is to do app, so it's gonna make a React app into my to do folder. So I'm not gonna make a new app over here, so you need to type this command and you're gonna create that. So let me check. I have already installed semantic UI, so let me show you how semantic UI works. So into the browser, let me type semantic UI React, and into semantic UI React, you can see this is the React version of semantic UI, and you can just go on getting introduction. Okay, let me just get started, and you can see there's a command given over here with semantic UI, and you can just copy this command, just copy this command and just paste it into the terminal. Okay, like this, and just hit enter. It's gonna install the semantic UI into your package.json and dependency. So after that you're gonna use that. So let me just type over here import from semantic UI React. So it's gonna be awesome that we are making a to-do app, and I have already made some video, but today I'm making this little bit a simple project that you will not make understand. I'm gonna make you understand how things work in React and how we work into the industrial code. So it will be really little bit related about that. So what I'm gonna use, first of all, let me type over here. So just remove this, and first I'm gonna import header section, and I'm just type over here header header, and in between that header I'm just gonna type this is my to do app. Okay, let me show you how it looks like on our React. Okay, it should be, let me just change the name of component. So let me just check the which component we are running. So actually it is related to React router, so that's why it's making us problem. So let me make it comp2. Okay, so we need to run it on comp2. If you haven't watched the video of React router, so just watch it, go into my previous video and into the playlist, and you can watch that. So this is my to-do app. You can see the header, and we should make it a little bit bolder. So how are we gonna make that? Into the semantic UI, just type header, and into the header you can see there are multiple type of headers over here. So what we gonna, which one you gonna use So let me just choose which one I gonna use. So the color pool is little bit obvious, so we will use this one, first header. So let me just check the code, and you can see it has been represented. You can use like as h1 control c and just type over here. Okay, comp2 control v. Now it's gonna behave like h1 tag. Okay, if you type up props, these called props, you can see this is my to do app. So these are the props as whatever we are typing over, because they have already made up file with the name of header, which we are importing from semantic UI rack, because it's package module where different type of module just like header or modal or something like that. So now we're gonna import input from, and now just type input over here, input, and just make it slash. So if you know about little bit prettier, what prettier does, so with prettier is a code formatting where you can see already I have installed that. So this is the core formatter. What it does, if you enable it and install it into your VS code, how it gonna behave, you just need to click you just need to go right click and just click on this format document. If you click on that, you're gonna see that your code will automatically get indented and everything gonna be look like that's very good and clean code. So that's why we can use control shift I also for formatting our code into a good React boilerplate. So don't need to about that. So I will tell you a lot of things into this to do app. So right now what we're gonna do, we need to type equals to text. Okay, type equals to text, and I'm gonna make a function just handle on change input. Okay, we are handling on change input, and I'm just gonna type over here also on change. I'm just gonna just push that handle on change input. Okay, so control C and control V, handle on change input. Whatever you will change into this input text, this function gonna call again and again and again. So what we are passing over here, e comma data, not data value. Okay, so and let's make us react hooks. If you already know about react hooks, so that's fine. If you haven't, then just go and watch my video up on use effect and use state. So I'm gonna use state hook, and I'm gonna get input change. I'm making this video so fast because I need to show you a lot of things into that, because we need to configure Firebase also. So that's why just make it okay. So this value is already null, and just not make it null, just make it a string type, because it's going to be better. So set input change, make it camel case. Okay, okay, and now what we're gonna do, why it's showing us error, because we haven't imported the use state hook over here. So I need to type use state. Okay, use state. Okay, now what we're gonna do, we need to type set input change, and whatever it will change into the input, it's gonna set into the input change state, and it's gonna let me render this input change over here into the value field. So into the value field, what we will do, we will show the input change. Okay, just see, and let me show you on the UI. You can see whatever I will type, it gonna set the state, it's gonna render you over here. So let me show you in the console also, console.log value. Okay, now you can see into the console, whatever I will type, it gonna call that function, and it gonna render everything into that input box also. So we need to customize that input box because this input box is not looking better. Let me see why it's not looking better. Input, and we should customize it just like this. Let me show you. So you can see this input box. There are a lot of multiple input box. Which one we should use? I'm just thinking about that. If you have any suggestions, please comment below. But I would like to use this input box because there's a search button also included. So I'm just gonna use this action, but there's some issue because on click of search button we need to customize that. So I don't wanna waste the time on that because I just wanna make it as simple as I am. So I just need to use this search button because this is kind of pretty bigger one. So let me just size this input size. I need to copy this size also. Only size. Okay. See. Okay, if I just go over here and try, let me see the input is getting bigger or not. No, it's not. Well, there's some sort of issue, I think. Okay, let me just refresh the page. Okay, I'm not getting any changes into the input box. I don't know why. Because you should Why it's making us problem? Let me check. Because input size placeholder. Okay, let me copy this also. Control C, and let me just paste it over here and just check this that it's just same thing. Okay, there are some sort of issue with um, build file or something, so that's why it's not making the good UI of input box. So don't worry about that. I will tell you later why it is happening because I think there is some sort of issue in the build. So that's why it's making its problem. So no need to worry about that. So we're gonna make a button over here. We're gonna import that from React button, and I'm just gonna use that button over here. Button and button. Okay, and on click of that button, I'm gonna call a function handle submit. Okay, handle submit. Okay, and I'm just gonna use that handle submit button over here. Handle. Okay, let me just make it easier. Control V. Handle submit. Okay, so you can see the handle submit, and now what I'm gonna do, I'm just making a state over here again. What? Why I'm making that state? Because I'm gonna to show you that I'm gonna show you the list over here, whatever the list gonna print it underneath of this input box and button, because whatever we will type over here into that input box, after that if we click on that button, it's gonna submit that and set into that state, um, which I'm gonna create over here. Let's use state, and into the state list, to do list, make the name of to do list. Okay, oh, misspell this. Okay, just make it null because there's no any value into this. And to do list. Okay, make it in a camel case. Okay, just make it array because it will be fine that we need to make the array of to-do list. So we will gonna map that array and underneath of this button. So how we gonna do that? I'm just creating the div over here. Div, inside that div I'm just gonna be a list, to-do list. Let me do to-do list, and then to-do list dot length. after that, if you have to-do list dot length, then it's gonna make the to-do list dot map items, and just make a arrow function, because we if you know about the fat arrow function, that it's okay. If you don't know, then I'm gonna make a separate video on that, because there's little bit video I have been uploaded. I'm gonna make each and every topic video on each and every topic, so don't worry about that. So in items, I'm gonna print that item with as h4 tag, h4, and make just print items. And after that, just remove this and make it over here null, because what we're gonna do over here, we are just printing the items. So what our items are, each and every value, just each and every element inside that to-do list, which are placed into an array. So we need to just print over here. So we are just making a loop. So what this map function does, if you know about that, it's okay. If you don't, then I'm going to tell you later about this map, how map function does. Map function is a just simple as for loop does, but there are some key and parameter which map function returns into the callback function. This is your callback function, items, arrow, and inside of that callback function, you can return the item. And which array you are mapping, it depends on what are the fields inside of that. So we have only value items like this. You can see, I'm show you, we're gonna just set that array like this: a comma b comma c comma d comma, just like this. So we're gonna put those items inside of that to-do list array just like this. So let me show you how I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna do that set to-do list and make an array, and dot 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 to do list. So this is the spread operator. What it does, it does that it spread your all the element into the form of array, and it separate them with a comma. So it is a rest operator, that if you have already some values inside of that, so it's gonna save those value also, and also it gonna append a new value, just like I'm gonna appending what is input change. Okay, whatever you have into the input change, when I click on submit button, it's gonna set the state. This array, inside of that array, you will get all the to-do list items whatever you have into this state, and after that you are saving an input change state, input change value, whatever you have value into this state. So this value you're gonna save into this to-do list, and whenever you will change this to-do list, it's gonna make render all the things over here. Let me show you how it works. So just let me create the button text first. Submit. Okay, and you can see there's a submit button also have been created. I don't know why this is not working and creating input and output just like I want, but it should work, because we are using semantic UI, man. I don't know why it's not working properly. There would be some issue, but don't worry about that. I will make a separate video on that. I don't right now I not waste the time on finding why it's not working. So we just need to focus on how to do app works. So if I type this is my first to do app and I click on submit, you can see it's have been appeared over here. If I click on that again and again, then you can then see the list of this to do app. And if I remove this, I'm gonna type this is my second to do app, and you can see if I click on submit, you can see it's just saving inside of this state, and this is my second to do app. We can reverse this. How? Let me show you. We can just dot reverse function, and now what it gonna do, whatever you will type over here. So now, yeah, our state have been refreshed, so because we have been reloaded our state app, so that's why our state have been refreshed, so that's why all the data has been gone, because we are now not we are saving the data into the backend, so that's why it was in the local state. So let me type again. This is my first app, and I click on submit. You can see, if I click on second app and I click on submit, you can see that whatever we will type now, it's gonna render us at the first position. Why? Because we are reversing that array which we are mapping over here. You can see. So that's why I use reverse over here. And so it's pretty important that you should remember that why we use reverse and how we can use map function. So let me just take you to the Firebase, how our Firebase works. So let me just go into that Firebase, and if I click on that Firebase, so I have get started. If you haven't logged in into the Google, so you won't just get that UI or image. So if you should have logged in with your Google account, so I have logged in already. So if you have already created an app, that's okay, because you can see my new to do app. I have already created that, but I'm gonna make a new app for you guys. So just see my second to do app. Okay, so this is my name of to do app. Enable Google Analytics. I don't want that. Create project. So you're gonna create your project in a while. Depends on your internet speed. It's taking time. Okay, so project is ready. Continue, and continue. After continuing, you will get this UI, but you should have see these three icons: iOS, Android, and web. So we need to use this in web. So just click on this web and register your app again. So click on my second to do app. You can type anything what you want, because that was your project name and this is your app name, so it doesn't matter. You will type same name or second. First app, I'm gonna type first app. Okay, and now I'm gonna register that app. This check is also for you if you want to install that. So you can see this is a Firebase config that you have to configure Firebase. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy this, because this is very important thing that you should have copy. So I'm just gonna copy this from here to here and control C. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna append it over here into the first place. Control V. So you can see, and just copy this thing also. Copy this from here and control C and control V. So you can see I copied all the things and just remove this, because it works same thing. So now what we're gonna do, just type const app equals to Firebase, and now what we're gonna do, const fire equals to app dot fire. Oh, I just need to install Firebase first. So what you need to do, you need to just install npm I Firebase. Okay, so if you haven't installed, so it will take some time. If you have already installed, so you can see it has been already installed into my system, so I don't need to install again. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do import Firebase from Firebase. Okay, and right now what I'm gonna do, const if I make a variable just like this, app dot Firestore. Okay, now this is your config has been already written. Let me check what we can do again. Just continue to console and just go to cloud Firestore. into the left nav bar and create database. Start in test mode. Next, and this is the location where your Firebase have been located. Oh, sorry, database has been located. So it's showing us the US Central. No need to change that. You can change also. It depends on yourself. Yeah, it will take some time to create your data. Mm. So it will take some time to create your database, and you can see your database has been created. What you need to do now, you just need to run some configs into your app over here. Okay, sorry, why it's showing us errors. Oh, Firebase app name default already exists. Duplicate app. Okay, I have already created a Firebase app into my another profile, so you can see over here. So I don't need to do that. So let me just comment it out. Okay, and let me just comment it out. Control all, comment out. Okay, so it won't gonna make the problem into our app. So right now it won't gonna make the problems. So what we gonna do now? So let me just go to the docs and I will show you step by step how it works. So get started for web. So there have been shown that all the documentation properly. So what we are using Cloud Firestore, get started. So you can see how it works. So it will show you that create your cloud first database and good getting started with mobile client libraries. So these are something that you have to written. If you are using that, you need to install npm install Firebase, that we have done already. And if you are working on JavaScript, so you need to append this script into your document file. And what you need to do after that, you just need to initialize firebase.initialize app. After that, db is equal to firebase to firestore. So I don't need, so let me shut do. I can use db over here. If you don't misunderstand, guys, so I can do db over here. Okay, now what we need to do, you can see db.collection.add. So let me just copy this code from here, control C, and I'm just gonna use this code over here where we are using handle submit button. Okay, so we are using handle submit button, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just removing this values from here, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just make this key to do. Okay, to do list. Okay, and this one gonna our key into the database, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna type value, and into that value what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna type input change. So I will just push this input change into our Firebase when I will click on submit button. So you can see I will show you the changes at this place. How? Just let me show you. So let me refresh this again. May not be some error. Okay, so this is my first Firebase app. Okay, and let me just remove this console from here, and you can see submit. After clicking on submit, you can see it's showing us document written with ID, and it has been pushed our data into our Firebase database. Let me show you. So if I go this tab and come back on this tab, you can see to do list, and with this key you can see whatever we have written into that input box, it is showing us over here. This is my first Firebase app. And now if I will just let me show you again, if I type something else, this is my second line of Firebase. Okay, if I click on submit, okay, So you can see document written with ID or document has been written into our Firebase, and you can see our next line. That's awesome, guys. Awesome. This is happening, and we are creating the database as well as front end UI in React.js, and all the things are working properly over here. So now we are just setting this in the local state. So what I need to do, I'm just gonna do read this thing on our front end. How? Let me show you. So we will read all the things from here, all these things from here into our front end over here. Whenever we will refresh that page, it won't gonna lose the all data because that will come from Firebase database. So let me show you. Let me just make use effect over here. First import the use effect, use effect, and let me just make use effect. And so when we will run this use effect into the change of input, so seriously, into the change of input, no, not the input change, into the change of to do list. Okay. No, input change, we're gonna call this on input change. Okay, now what we need to do, db.collection, db.collection, and just make this to-do list. What was the to-do list? Okay, and now to type snapshot. On snapshot, it's gonna return us doc, and doc equals to, so we're gonna type over here console.log doc.data control, sorry, doc.data. Let me check what I was written over here. Oh, I just need to see. Yeah, doc value. So no, that's not this one. We are getting, yeah, this one. So what we need to do, we need to just copy, control C, okay, and paste it over here just like this, and just check it. Okay, so we were good to go. Actually, we were doing good, but there was some sort of key and value parameter issue. So you can see we were using doc over here, okay, and it was using the key snapshot.docs.map. So it is so what was our key to do list. Okay, now if we click on that, we are getting some sort of errors. Why? Let me check first. Okay, let me check why we are set list is not defined. Okay, set list, not set list, set to do list. Okay, and let me show you what it gonna return us. Whenever I will refresh the page, it is showing us error. The React object key values mean to render collection schedule is used at array instead. There should be some sort of issue. To do list on snapshot console.log docs.map on snapshot. Okay. Why this happening? Ta-da. Not should be to this time. Let me check set to do list. Control C. Okay, just remove this line for a while. After that, we will see what I'm gonna get. But okay, so let me show you. We have got two values over here. you can see value. This is my first Firebase, this is my second Firebase. So that value we need to store into our set to do list. Then how we gonna do that? So we just need to remove this handle submit from here, set to do list from here. Now we what we're gonna do, we're gonna get the data from Firebase, okay, and we're gonna render it on that UI from here items dot value, okay. Now we're gonna render us over here. Okay, now you can see this data is coming from Firebase, whatever we have already written over here. If I will create a new add document with ID 12345 and field will be value and string and key will be something, whatever we will type. If we click on save, and you can see, and let me show in the React app, you can see the data is coming also because we are changing data input change. If I click on that, let me type a, okay, should not grab join is not a function, okay. Okay. There should be some sort of issue, guys. So I have to check that because we are fetching the data on input change. Let me just remove this. Okay. And because we just need to get the data at the first time, and let me just copy this thing from here and handle submit. After that, control V over here. So what we will do over here, we are doing, we are just pushing the data and getting the data on the chain handle submit, and also we are getting the data first time whenever we will load our page. Okay, now just see this, and whenever we will click on that value, okay, in submitting the data, you can see the data has been appended. And whenever we will click on something that just like this, and you can see our to do app has been created, and that's it. The to do app is, sorry for the guys that semantic UI React hasn't been worked properly, but I will tell you in the next video why it was not working, because some sort of CSS issue or something, that's why it's not working. Let me check that if it has been installed into my package.json. Yeah, it's been installed, but there would be some sort of issue. I will crack that and I will tell you later in the next video. But this was our to do app and it is working fine. If you have any issue, any query related to this to do app, we're gonna just, I'm just gonna tell you, just comment it down and just tell me if you are having some issue, any kind of things so related to this. I'm just really gonna help you. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and please make sure subscribe the channel. And this was my to do app code. So if you want this code, I'm just gonna push my GitHub page, and link will be in the description. And make sure you should get this from a comp tool. So I will rename this file with the Firebase to-do list app. So don't worry about that. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching, and please make sure subscribe, hit the like button, and comment down below how you like this video. Thank you so much.